G'day mates, welcome back to part 2 of our notable British figures, starting with Florence Nightingale, aka Lady of the Lamp, or to the rats, Lady of the Broom. That's actually a horrible histories joke, that's not my joke, I apologise if it's not a good joke. Anywho, she was a British nurse during the Crimean War, aiding wounded soldiers in the dark and fighting off the rats to, hygiene. Born into a wealthy household, this helped Florence's reputation grow compared to other wartime nurses like Mary Seacole and other nurses whose names have faded into history. Modern historians argue if Florence's fame was exaggerated or well earned. She did work hard as a nurse, but so did other wartime nurses. So, Charles Dickens, British author and social critic in the 1800s. By the 20th century, he was named as a literary genius, even though he was forced to drop out of school due to his father's debt and imprisonment. His father was in terrible debt and couldn't pay it back, so Charles Dickens could not finish his education. But this didn't stop him from becoming a weekly editor of a journal company and write 50 novels, 5 novellas, and campaign for children's rights for education. No child should have to be forced out of education. Moving on to Monkey Man, Charles Darwin, a British naturalist, geologist, and biologist, best known for his work in Pirates and an Adventure with Scientists. Named one of the most influential figures in human history, with his famous 5-year voyage on the HMS Beagle, which his father, Robert Darwin, objected because he thought it would be a waste of time and money, because Charles could learn more in a lab looking at rocks all day. But Charles objected his dad's objections and went on the voyage anyway, where he spent most of his time studying rocks and collecting invertebrates, and then later on studying the birds and eating some new exotic meats like giant tortoise. Jane Austen, female author of the 18th and 19th century, rejecting traditional sentimentalism in her writings and going for more social commentary and irony for complex character arcs, because it's much more interesting to write with a sarcastic tone, like a judgy sarcastic tone, than a soft mushy tone for little children. Educated in Oxford and Southampton, and then moving back home with her sister to recover from typhus and also not dying, and then going to an all-girls boarding school in a town close to my hometown, Reading. This concludes part 2 of our Dumb Money series of notable figures. Stay tuned for part 3 and 4.